Hi, how's it going? Welcome back. I'm Orlando with On Point Custom Auto. What we're gonna help you out with today is we're gonna show you how to drop the headliner on any 2015 to 2021 Ford Mustang. There's a couple of reasons why you might wanna get that done. You could be wrapping the roof like what we're gonna be doing. You could be changing out the shark fin, or you could also be installing a Galaxy headliner kit, which is also what we're gonna be doing today. There's not too many tools, it's not too hard, it's not gonna take too long, and we're gonna save you some money and some time by showing you how to get that done. Let's get to it. All right, let's get started. Here's what you're gonna need to do the job. You're gonna need either a ratchet or a driver. You're gonna need a small flathead or pick, and you're gonna need your choice of a T15 and T20, whether it's on a driver or to go on a socket, and you're also gonna need a T50. Once again, flathead, pick, some type of driver or ratchet, a T15, a T20, and a T50. That's it. Let's get started. All right, we've already removed the entire driver's side of the vehicle. We took off the drop visor. We removed the pillars on the plastics on the driver's side in the front and the rear. We took out the seat belt because that's gonna give you the flexibility of that plastic to help you drop down that headliner. We're gonna show you how to drop the passenger side and all of the center pieces because it's identical to the driver's side, all right? Let's get started. All right, once you're on the inside of the car, if you've got some type of head flashlight or a regular hand flashlight, that's really what's gonna be the best for you on the inside unless you're working outside. You're gonna start with your flathead. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna pop off this little tab here. As you can see, here's a close-up. You're gonna pop that tab off, and it's gonna show you that it's got a little push pin right there. That push pin that is on the inside of your drop mirror needs to be squeezed in, so you're gonna squeeze there, and you're gonna squeeze there, and you're gonna squeeze them in with your flathead and your little pin pusher that I showed you, and that is gonna allow you to release and pull down your drop mirror. That's how I do that. Pop that out. You literally just pinch the both of them together, and when you pinch the both of them, you can go ahead and pull this down. Once that's released, there's a very, very, very small little button right there. You're gonna press that, and you're gonna release your drop visor, all right? Easy peasy. You're gonna do the same thing to the other side, and you're done there. On your centerpiece, it's literally two little push tabs. You can wedge your fingers underneath it, or you can grab your wedge tool, and it's got a couple of plugs here, 3 of them to be exact. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Take that back. It's got a total of 6 of them that need to be removed. All right, that's been removed. We're gonna go ahead and tuck that up into the top of the headliner so it doesn't give us any problems when we're dropping the headliner. Your next step, let's get you a close-up of that. All right, your next step after you do that, you see that? That's a T15 right there. You're gonna go ahead and remove that. You're gonna take your T15, nice and easy peasy. This one's not too hard. All right, you got that removed. Next step, you can come over here to where your plastics are, get your fingers wedged in. This pops out because it's a couple of pull tabs. All right, once this is popped out, I'm gonna loop over and I'm gonna show you real quick. Once this is popped out, you got that small little plastic piece that's right there. You can either bend that and remove it to give you some more flexibility. You don't really need to do that. You can just leave this like this and your headliner can still come out. On the front side of the headliner, we are completely removed. All right, let's go to the next step. Get back here. All right, once you're in the back side of the vehicle, it's pretty easy. You're gonna start by grabbing your flathead. You're gonna take your flathead and you're gonna wedge it right here. And you're gonna pop that off. There's a T15 on the inside of there. You're gonna loosen that T15 and that's gonna take off the little coat hanger. Then after that, you're gonna go ahead and grab a flathead, and you're gonna pop this off right here. Boom. That right there is where you're gonna use your T50. You're gonna put your T50 on there. Break that loose. And then once you break that loose, you're pretty much on the home stretch, man. I would recommend that you pull out your headrests from your 2 front seats like I did. It is going to just give you a little bit of more clearance for you to drop the headliner out. You can stick your hand in right here, give it a good pull. It's gonna free that there. You stick your hand in here, pop that out just like that. Stick your hand underneath, and you've got a couple of safety pull pins, and your headliner is pretty much freed out now. All you need to do is pop it from there. As you can see, I'm gonna switch around right here. You're gonna stick your hand right here and pop that out. And as you can see, the headliner is down right now. Okay, I'm gonna step out the car. And as you can see, it has completely come down on the back side. The front side just needs to be played with a little bit. It's got that safety clip that's up there in the front, and then everything else is ready to go. Okay, the next step of what we did was we just laid our seats back, and that showed us that what is holding up the headliner is just the wiring. That wiring can be pulled from the headliner. Once you pull that wiring out, it is going to free up the rest of the headliner. Walk around to the other side. You can go ahead and pull all that up, and then boom, the headliner is completely freed and ready to pull out. All right, our next step is going to be to actually remove the headliner from the vehicle. You should be able to just turn and shift the headliner, and if you turn it and shift it, you should be able to slide it right out. You want to get it underneath your steering wheel. Give it a little bit of a bend and pull right out. All right, we've got the headliner completely out. What we're going to do is we are going to put this on a table or on some horses, and we're going to get these pieces removed, okay? All right, in the next step, all we're going to do is we're going to remove all of these plastic pieces that are up here, and we're going to remove these cardboard pieces, and we're going to remove any residual glue that is left over from them. You can take a small wedge tool, or you can pry your finger underneath this, and it'll go ahead and pull up. That's what we're pulling up right there. You don't pull these up, you won't be able to lay down your fiber optics correctly. You can put some force on it. Don't be afraid. It's totally fine. All right. People have asked me in the last couple of videos, how come I don't show them why I tear these out or how I tear them out? Well, it's just a sloppy job. Doesn't matter how you go about it. You can take a blade and do it. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that you get these things off. And then we're going to go ahead and take a permanent marker, and we are going to mark our square. Once you mark your square, you know where you're poking your fiber optics at. And once you know where you're poking your fiber optics at, the rest of it's pretty easy peasy. Easy peasy is the word of this video. Alright, we've got everything removed. The only stuff that we're not going to remove are going to be these two back magnetic clips, because this is what's going to hold up your headliner with the push pins that are up there on the back side. I'm going to go ahead and get off this little bit of glue that's up there in the front, because I want my lights to go up as far as possible on this, and I don't want to have any weird patterns. So go ahead and get that removed. A little bit of the glue. All right, now we're ready to go on to the next step. In the next step, you're going to go ahead and grab a marker. You're going to give yourself a nice square, a lot nicer than the way that I draw. You're going to want to stay in front of where those mounting clips are, and you want to go right to about the cusp of that curve. So you want to take a little bit of that curve with you, but not all of it, okay? Because right here on the little side areas right here is where your airbags go, so you don't want to worry about bumping into the airbag. So you do want to come down a little bit so that way the stars look good. Depending on how many pieces you have, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can break this up into 4 sections, and if you have a 600 piece kit, then you know you're putting 150 into each square, or you can break it up into half and do 300 on the front half, 300 on the back half. Doesn't really matter. The point is that the sky doesn't look perfect, and if you look up at the sky, everything is all over the place. There's stars that are close together, there's stars that are far from each other, so there's not really a right or wrong way to do this. So just go ahead and attack it. We're going to show you how right now in the next step. All right, the next 2 steps of this are going to be the more time-consuming part of this, but it's not that hard. So I went to a dollar store, Walgreens, you can go pretty much anywhere. You're going to get yourself a couple of packs of these push pins. And like I said, the way that we're going to attack this one this time, we're going to do a 600 piece kit in this car. So we're going to do 150 pieces in each one of these squares. So what we did is we put 150 into each one of these. I've got 2 more set on the side, so that way I know exactly how much are going to go into each square, and I don't have to count them. They were already pre-counted. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab them, and I'm going to go ahead and poke a spot. To start off, I like to use a 3-finger distance, all right? Just to make sure that you're spacing them apart evenly. Doesn't matter where you're going. 3 to 4 fingers apart. Work your way around. Or you could just grab them and go random and poke them in different places. And when you come back and you see that you've already got a whole area filled in, then you're going to fill areas around it just to make sure it doesn't look like a line or an accidental pattern. I have seen people draw Chevy signs or Dodge RT signs, or even put their name, and then when they put the fiber optics through it, it will show their name on the opposite side. The one thing I will tell you ahead of time is you need to flip it. So if you want it to say RT facing you, obviously it shouldn't say RT the same way up top. It should say TR, so that way you get the universal look on the front of your headliner. Don't take my word on that, because I don't really do that. I just do the headliners, but I have sent out tons of kits to customers out there that have done this on their vehicle. Shout out to you guys. You guys have sent me pictures of it. You guys are doing awesome. That stuff is great. That's what I do this for, just to show you guys how to get this done. Enough talking. I'm going to finish poking my 150 holes here, and we're going to show you guys what it looks like in the next scene. Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, I poked all of my holes, 150 in each square. My next step is for me to take the fiber optics individually, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull one pin, and in that same pin we are going to push through one of the fiber optics, Once you get that fiber optic through, you can go ahead and pull it out through the other side. And we're just gonna go ahead and repeat. I'm gonna have to do this 600 times because I poked 600 holes. I know you guys don't wanna sit here and watch me do all of them. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward through this. And we're gonna show you guys what the next step is after you guys poke 600 holes and push 600 pieces of fiber optics through, okay? Remember, do one piece at a time. It's easier for you to do that way. Doesn't matter the order of what you do it, how many pieces you pull out. I would just say start as close as you can to where you're coming in with the fiber optics and work your way up towards the farthest corner. We'll catch you back here shortly. All right, guys, welcome back. We poked all our holes, we pulled all of our fiber optics through, and we have a little bit over 600 pieces. I've seen a couple of extra spots, so I threw in a couple of little extra fiber optic strands wherever I felt like there was some gapping. On to the next step. What you're gonna do is you're going to pull some of this fiber optics down, and when you pull the fiber optics down through the other side, you're gonna see that it's gonna basically pull some of this loose fiber optics down and make it a little closer towards the headliner. The reason why you wanna do that is so that way you can make as much space as you can on the top side, and also so that nothing pulls back out. So we're gonna continue to do this for a couple of minutes, and we're gonna do it on each side, all the way around, and get all of these fiber optics pulled through. As you can see, these strands are getting tighter, not as much loose. And I'm basically just running my fingers through it in the bottom like you would, your hair if you have long hair, your girlfriend's hair, your kid's hair, whatever that means, your hairy back, whatever your preference is, whatever kind of hairy area you have. The same way you run your fingers through that hair is the same way you're gonna run your fingers through the fiber optics. Got it? And then once you're done with that, you get everything nice and down, we are going to take some Gorilla Tape and we are going to go across with 3 strands this way and 1 and 2 in an X motion to make this as flat as possible. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, we poked our holes, we put the fiber optics through, we pulled the fiber optics down, and we taped it down to give us a little bit of more room. Your next step is to trim everything that you pushed all the way through. What I like to do is I like to leave at least 12 inches, and we'll make a second trim on the inside of the car. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna start trimming and cutting off all of your fiber optics. I literally just use like a wire cutter. This is what it looks like. It's a basic wire cutter. You can get this at any hardware store. And you're gonna go ahead and trim all of the fiber optics down to about 12 inches. And then once you've got everything trimmed down, come on back and we'll go to the next step. All right, welcome back. We got everything trimmed up. Everything's the way that it's supposed to. As you can see, I left about 12 inches on the opposite side of the headliner. Then what I went ahead and did was all the extra fiber optics from the point that it is going into the headliner, I just wrapped it with some electrical tape so that way it'll hide some of the light when I'm going through the pillar. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mount this in that rear pillar back there, all right? So all we have to do now is go ahead and reinstall this into the vehicle. I've got my computer here. This is the one that we're gonna use. It literally plugs in just like that. No issues, no problem. And we're gonna run that there and then run a power along to the battery or to an ignition source. So we're gonna go ahead and get this installed into the vehicle. You're gonna go ahead and reinstall it the same way that you pulled it back out. Nice and easy. Easy peasy is the word for this show. Remember, that's what we told you today. This episode, everything is easy peasy. It's probably one of the easier headliners that we've showed you guys how to do. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna show you what a finished clip looks like of it. If you like the video, share, like, subscribe, and blast the heck out of this out to your friends and family and help us get some views. God bless, guys. All right, we've got the headlighter back in. We already trimmed out most of the fiber optics, so now it's starting to look like some stars. And we just connected it real quick so you guys can see what it looks like on. What you're gonna do when you get on the inside is just be able to grab a handful of the fiber optics at a time. And you're gonna take your wire cutter and you're gonna start trimming as close as you can get to your headliner. The reason why I tell you to grab a handful is because if you just start trimming this stuff, it's gonna start falling all over your car. If you grab a handful and hold on to that handful, you'll be able to pull out anywhere between like 10 to 15 of them at a time. Pull them out by the bushel. It's exactly how I did it. And it's a lot easier to clean up. You can toss them directly into the trash can or toss them on the floor to sweep up. But if you don't, I swear to God, you will be picking up fiber optics from the inside of your car for close to a year. Yes, I said close to a year. Once you are done trimming all of the fiber optics, you are going to power the system. I'm gonna show you guys where I decided to power the system at. And then how it's gonna get turned on and off. So let's get to the next step. Okay, we're back on the inside of the vehicle. What I decided to do, you see that piece of cardboard / styrofoam? It goes right here between that panel. It's just a spacer and a filler. I pulled it out, didn't break any clips. It literally just goes right in between there. And the computer will mount right, literally perfectly in there. Everything is going to close. There's not going to be any issues. It will fit perfectly right there. I'm going to grab a piece of two-way tape and I'm going to put the two-way tape on the back side of it right there, so that way it stays against the body of the vehicle. And then I am going to run a power line, and I'm going to start running that power line along that jamb to the front side of the vehicle. So I will have to pull this plastic up, so that way I can run the plastic back down with the wire underneath it properly. And that's the next step that we're gonna show you. But I ran the controller down. You can see I ran my fiber optics through that pillar right there on the back of the driver's side. It went nice and perfectly right in between both of those bolts. Everything snapped down nice and good. All I have to do is go ahead and toss this piece on and snap it back in, and I'm going to show you guys that it fits all nice and perfect right now. All right, as you can see, everything sealed up totally fine along the door jamb. On that side plastic, everything fits in nice and factory. It's behind there, everything's working. There's no issues. And we're gonna finish running that power wire now. All right, now that we have our panel back in place, I showed you that we hid the computer system behind this panel here. I went ahead and I ran my power line right along this trim. As you can see, there's the wire right there. I pulled off that door kick panel right there. I ran the wire all the way along the floorboard. And as you can see, the wire comes up and out. There is a plastic grommet that's right there along the firewall. This literally will just open. You're not gonna have to cut that. It'll flap over. I put a very, very small slit with a blade into the firewall, so that way I can put it through that plastic grommet. And then you can see it comes out right here by the brake booster. I'm gonna go ahead and run a zip tie to mount this up, so that way it's not loose. And then I ran it underneath this plastic cowl right here. I ran it underneath the battery. I grounded it right there to the chassis. I did a small notch in my fuse box, and I ran it to an ignition source, fuse number 68. 68 turns on and off with the battery, and it operates the automatic headlight leveler. So it's not something that's gonna cause damage or something that is highly needed on the vehicle, that if the fuse blows, it's going to cause you driving issues. So once again, what I did with that power wire was I ran it down the pillar. I ran it along the door kick panel through the firewall. It came out right here by the brake booster. I ran up and then I put it underneath this cowl. Ran along the battery. I'm gonna throw some zip ties right there. And then it went right into the fuse box. All right, we're all done here. What we showed you today is we showed you how to drop the headliner on any 2015 to 2021 style Ford Mustang. What we did is we dropped a Galaxy Star headliner kit on the inside of it. Let's show you what it came out like. And this is what it looks like. Here's your finished output. Stars in the headliner. Look outstanding. We hope we helped you out. We hope we taught you something. We hope we saved you some money. Like, subscribe, share. Follow us on YouTube, www.onpointcustomauto.com, and On Point Custom Auto on all of our social media outlets. Let's get it.